If you want to survive, you either civilian or a gangster. There ain't no in between. Stay in your lane, all in or all out. If you get distracted, you did. This ain't my war. Plus, in New York, I'm already dead.
Man, I don't know. I think we just started a fucking war, though.
Welcome back, Top Notch Gang. Now, in this video, we're talking about, obviously, Tariq and Tommy. Now, we're going to talk about the message Tommy left him, you guys' theories of possible crossovers that could happen between Book Force and Book Ghost, how those could possibly play out. But first, we're going to dive into the relationship from beginning, middle, and end of Tariq and Tommy, and how I see that playing out and going forward into Season 2 of Book Force and Season 4 of Book Ghost. We all obviously know what happened at the end of Season 3, kind of like the first full crossover back into Ghost since Tommy's show started, and it was pretty unexpected. It was a cool way they implemented it into the story, having Sax give out those letters to Monet and 2-Bit, Diana deliver it to Kate, Kate deliver it to Tommy, and so on and so forth. So that was a cool way they implemented Tommy back into the story, and it's going to be fun to see how they continue to do that with both shows, because a lot of people seem to think how the season ended with Braden and Tariq riding off. A lot of people said they went in the direction of Chicago, and a lot of people want to see them go to Chicago under Tommy's wing, I guess hang out, learn some stuff, ride out this war, come up with a plan or anything like that. And there's a lot of interesting things they could do to make this work that I'm gonna point out in this video that deals with Tommy's mom Kate, that deals with Diana, that kind of contradicts something Tommy said that we're also gonna point out in this video, where he was like, this isn't his war, this is Tariq's war, he's dead in New York. So we're gonna see how all this could possibly play out and how future crossovers can continue to happen. I also want to talk about what characters will have cool interactions if they were to interact from Force to Ghost characters, whether those conversations or scenes will be hilarious or intense, whether they get in fights, shootouts, they just joking, anything like that. So we're gonna point that out also in this video. So that's what we're gonna be diving into in this video. As usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. And once again, you can leave down below in the comments any shows you want me to do reviews or anything on. I'm catching up on The Chi before the new season starts. I know you guys did the poll, The Chi won, so that's the show I'm going to be doing the week by week reviews for when it releases, but I'm going to be doing mini reviews of shows I've seen. I'm coming up on The Idol. The Idol is about to end. I'm about to make a video on that show because I just got to. But once again, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let's jump right into it. Now, Tariq and Tommy's relationship is complicated to say the least. Now, of course, he's known as his Uncle Tommy. He's been there since the very beginning, since growing up. Like, him and Ghost was like brothers. So, of course, this was his Uncle Tommy. But after constant betrayals by Tariq to Tommy, he no longer considered him family long before he ever even killed Ghost. He betrayed him with the Dre situation, alerting Dre of that. He betrayed him with the Kanan information. Tommy was led to believe it was Ghost who got Kanan killed in the situation, but it turned out to be Tariq. He also stole drugs from his warehouse, blamed that on Kanan as well, but I believe Lakeisha caught him or whatever, told Tommy. Tommy pulled up on him. Tommy also almost dumped his ass off a roof, and I think that was the first time he told them they're not family anymore. But he also told him once before, whenever he calls him, he's gonna show up, he's gonna be there. But that was up until the point before he killed Ghost, killed Tommy's brother, his best friend, the person he went through everything with. Once he did that, Tommy had no remorse, no feelings for Tariq and their family. And all throughout Book 2 Ghost, Tommy's beef hasn't even really been with Tariq. Ghost stopped him from shooting and killing Tariq. He's gonna live by what Ghost wanted, but his beef has been with Tasha the whole time because she ratted on him, for one, in court, and then two, she was the one who really killed Lakeisha, and she tried to pawn that off on Ghost too. So of course he first returned at the end of season 1 of Book Ghost, and and Tariq came up with a plan to help him fake his death, get from under all the charges, and that's the reason we even got the show Book Force now, because he's dead in New York. But of course, knowing Tommy, he could not let the shit Tasha did slide, so he still wanted to kill her. Tariq put her in witness protection, and Tommy left New York, and now we wouldn't see him again on Book Ghost, at least until season 3. And I already mentioned, we already know about everything about Sax's letters, how he sent them out to Monet, 2-Bit, Diana's plan to give it to Kate. Kate gave the information to Tommy, and this is where we are now. So the beef between Tommy and Tasha is fully squashed. They talked everything out. She stopped Tariq from shooting him, and also they talked everything out, like I said, and he sent her on a mission to shoot at Monet. So she kind of got Tariq in this tight spot he's in now. But Tommy came back and gave Tariq a lot of gems, a lot of jewels that he needed to use going into season 4.
There ain't no in between. Stay in your lane. All in or all out. If you get distracted, you did.
Basically tell him you in the game, you're out the game. You can't do the back and forth. That's what Ghost did. It caught up to him. Like, if you want to win this war, if you want to be in the game, you got to be a 100% of a gangster. It ain't no picking and choosing, and that's basically what he told him. Another important thing he told him is, and I think it's important to talk about for when we mention the crossover section, is that this isn't my war.
This ain't my war. Plus, in New York, I'm already dead.
So that's pretty much the extent of their relationship up to this point. They're a family, of course. Tariq betrayed him a few times, and family and loyalty is what's most important to Tommy. And we see that time and time again. We seen how he felt when Ghost went behind his back, when Tasha went behind his back, and it was the same for Tariq. So we know that he values that the most. Tariq betrayed him, and then once he killed his father, that was ultimately the last straw. Now there's a path towards reconciliation, I guess, and they're working their way back. So we'll see how it continues to play out going into, once again, season 2 of Book Force and season 4 of Book Ghost. Now, diving into how potential crossovers can happen, we're going to do Tommy returning back to Book Ghost first, because I think those are the easiest paths we could see so far. And I'll explain when we get into Tariq and Brayden going to Chicago. So first off, the first thing a lot of people say is Kate, his mom. So we saw when Tariq went to visit her that all her boxes was packed up. It looked as if she was moving out or she has just moved in. And seeing as Diana knew where she stayed, I would guess it was looking like she was moving out. So a lot of people seem to think that Kate will be going to Chicago to be with Tommy. And this is twofold, because a lot of people seem to believe that Drew and Diana would have to take out Kate in season 4 to stop the information from getting out that it was Diana who delivered the letter to Kate and fuck up their whole plan, basically. So we could either see it in one or two ways, where Drew and Diana try to get rid of Kate, they end up killing her or trying to kill her, and Tommy returns that way. And that proves that Monet and Tariq were right, that it was Drew and Diana who set everything up, and Tommy coming back and being on that side, and he'll finally help Tariq in the war. If not, then of course she could go move to Chicago, and if Drew and Diana wants to continue to go along with this plan, having to take her out in case the information ever gets out there, that is one way they could technically cross over into Book Force. But I think it's more than likely that if that whole situation was to happen, since Drew, Diana, Monet, and Tariq are all Book Ghost characters, it makes more sense for it to happen on that show than for only 2 characters to go over to Tommy's show just to deal with that problem. So that's the first way they could make Tommy come back to Book Ghost for a crossover. The next, probably simplest crossover theory I could come up with is the law enforcement, because we already seen Jenny and Blanca pop up at the end of season 1 of Book Force, and now they have been investigating Tariq for some time. I think something could be discovered about Tommy being alive, and they could easily tie all these people back in with one another. They might catch Kate before she leaves for Chicago, and so on and so forth. They might go back into Chicago to look into Tommy, him being alive. It just all makes sense because they already kind of teased that at the end of Book Force. I also think the hard drive that Sax left for or Agent Young could play a big part. A lot of people seem to think it might deal with Angela, Ghost, and Tariq or something like that. I've seen people talk about the possibility of it having something to do with Davis, but it could be evidence that Tommy is alive, which would be weird for Sax to have, seemingly because he was there when Tommy faked his death, so how would he have acquired this information? But if it was to be Tommy being alive, this could open a new investigation, bring both teams together. Everyone in Book Force and Book Ghost are now working together, all to be one big Rico case spanning across 2 different cities in 2 entirely different states. And this would give them more reasons to do crossovers more naturally. Like, they'll introduce all these characters to one another, they'll be working together, it'll be more fluently, and they'll be able to do it, like I said, more often. It'll be more natural. And I think honestly this is the best way possible for them to do it, to find out Tommy is alive, connect him back to Tariq, and then launch an investigation into all these niggas and bring them all together. This would just be so cool. This is like the own version of the MCU, connecting all these characters to one another. I just think this is the smartest and cleanest way to go about it, because I know a lot of people said, like I said in the intro, think Tariq and Brayden are heading towards Chicago or to Tommy right now. But first off, does Tariq even know he's in Chicago? I don't believe Tommy ever revealed that information, and I could be wrong. You could put it down below in the comments, but I don't believe he knows that they are in Chicago. So I don't know that that's happening. But if this was to be implemented via a Rico case or something like that, then it would make sense that they tell each other their locations, they meet up somewhere, he learns his organization and all this and that, so that they could better help each other get from under this Rico, because they're both being targeted. So currently I don't see a point of them going to Chicago. It doesn't really make sense right now, but based off these 2 theories of the Kate situation and now this Rico situation, I think it's definitely a possibility it could happen in the future. But currently I don't see Tariq and Brayden going to Chicago. And just like that, this video is approaching too fucking long, so I didn't get a chance to dive into how some of these interactions and things would work from characters from both shows, how the scenes would be and everything like that. So if you guys like this video, I might make that its own separate video. You can let me know what you think about my theories and predictions down below, or if you have any other theories or possibilities for crossovers, you can leave that down below in the comments as well. I overall just think it's so cool that this is even a possibility on the table for them to do like a collab. Remember back in the day when our favorite YouTubers used to collab, or look at the MCU, seeing our favorite superheroes interact and work together? They even have a chance to do something like this in the Power universe. I think they need to execute on it. But once again, if you guys like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what else you want to see. But I'm out.